This is Kai. So, this is my story part 3. Yes. This is the third story because I've been procrastinating whatever. I'm going to have to put what's it called warnings in the description of my video. I'm trying to figure out what should I write as the warning. But anyways, you saw the warning in the beginning, right? So, I realized most of my childhood doesn't exist because in order to have a childhood, you have to be able to be a child, right? And I didn't get to be a child really. I was pretty much forced to grow up fast, and it has created a lot of issues because I can't say child what you call it's all going to say child mistreatment because I have oh my gosh a lot of child mistreatment, there's words I can't say on here. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's so much. I look back and remember. I'm let me see. I have so many bad memories that when I look back and realize I don't have hardly no good memories. I have just lots of bad memories. My memory is a whole day. So a whole day, and I have days of bad memories, just one after the other, and then I just I'm okay, I see why I'm so traumatized now. Because the stuff that was happening to me, I see why I have so many issues now. As an adult, when I was younger, I thought oh, when I become an adult, I'll be fine. And then now I'm an adult, I'm I'm not fine. So I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking, but when I think about it, I didn't know a lot of things when I was younger versus now. So much things. But okay, I'll go skip ahead. I was talking about in the second story, I was talking about how I was in the womb. But maybe skip ahead to when I was born. I remember this vividly because I remember I was mad the entire time when I was born. It started I was asleep and what should I call her? Because she's more like an enemy than anything. You're gonna see why I see her as an enemy. And actually, I see when I was younger, I realized I was super delusional, positively delusional. I was super delusional. I was. Well, I had kind of had to be delusional. I was trying to cope really with how bad it was. It makes sense why I was delusional. But now, since I realize, I live in reality now. My fantasy, really. I just realized that there's just so much. If I were to describe my childhood, I would call it a tragedy because it's not the greatest. It's a tragedy. All I could think of, a tragedy. It's miserable, it's sad, it's depressing, it's so much. I see why I have so much issues because when I think about each every fear that I have right now is because I nearly got off by the thing. My fear of heights, I nearly fell to my demise. The fear of spiders, I got bitten by so many venomous spiders and really went in and out of the fear of cockroaches because I got swamped thousands of these things were just chasing me all over the freaking apartments and stuff, trying to eat me. All my fears come back to somehow I nearly just RIPing. And most of the time my parents weren't even watching me, I was watching myself most of the time. Then they have the nerve to say, oh, why don't you know this? Why would I know that? Like, you guys weren't teaching me anything. I would be asking the questions. You kept on saying, leave me alone and go away. And anyways, I well, I decided to make this video today because I had a dream today. And like I could interpret dreams, but the only dreams I can interpret is my dreams because I already know how my subconscious pretty much work. And in this dream, it was basically telling me to like make this video, right? And it was also telling me I need to let go of the past too, but you know, I can't because the past is what I use to like help me right now because it's my experience. This is it's okay. I'll be okay eventually. So anyways, let me tell you the story about when I was born. I remember it very vividly. I remember it was the beginning of the living disaster that I have lived through. I mean, I want to say a certain word, but I can't say the certain word. But anyways, I don't know what okay, I'm going to call her my dad's ex-wife. Yes, his ex. Yes, let's call her that. So I was in the ex's stomach, right? And I was asleep, right? When I was born, I was asleep. Okay, I was asleep because like they had to like induce her with like some sort of pill to make her go into like labor because she was late because I was an overturned baby. So I was born at 10 months instead of 9. Okay, so I was overturned. Like, I could tell you why. Because of first, I was supposed to be born on let me see. First, I was supposed to be born on January 1st, but then they was like no, and then I was supposed to be born on February, like Valentine's Day, and he was like no. And then I was finally born a few days later on like President's Day, which no one celebrates really. I mean, someone probably celebrates it, but we don't celebrate hardly. Like now, we don't celebrate no holidays, none of them. Okay, so I want to celebrate holidays, but no one else does, so I'll just do that whenever I'll move out, whatever, and celebrate my own holidays, whatever. It's whatever. But anyways, basically I was an overturned baby. Keep that in mind because like a lot of things don't add up, like make sense, like at all. Like with my birth, a lot of things don't make sense because you'll see. So she was going to labor, right? And I remember this vividly because I was like woken up, like jolted up, and I was mad. I was sleeping good, like I was getting some good sleep because I couldn't go to sleep. Like it was very hard to go to sleep in her stomach because she would be laying on like on the right side of her body, right, and it would be so uncomfortable because the umbilical cord would be like twisted and stuff because it was just terrible. Okay, it was very hard to go to sleep in there. Like the only time I could go to sleep is when she was standing up or like sitting down. I couldn't really go to sleep when she was laying down because she'd be laying in such a weird very uncomfortable position. Okay, so I was asleep and I was like so happy to be asleep, and then I was woken up and she was going to labor and stuff, and I could feel the contractions, right, hitting me and push me down in the direction, right, and my head, oh, it hurt bad, like it was hurting so bad that my subconscious told me that if any more pressure was going to go on my head was going to go boom, like a pop, like a balloon, like explode, like I would be super gone from the pressure, because according to my subconscious I was way too small to be like doing that. Like I was way too small for the like labor process, and I was like I wasn't in the correct way, because like you could, like your baby could literally RIP from the pressure that it takes to like push the baby out onto like the head, right? If the baby is not like the right way, and I wasn't, I was like super small, like I was way smaller than I was supposed to be. So when the contractions was happening and my head was like being pushed down on by all this pressure, and it was like hurting like bad. It was like the worst headache ever. Like it felt similar to being underwater. That's what it feel like deep underwater when it start pressuring your head. It feels similar to that. Like it was so much pressure on my head, and I was in so much pain, and I was like, I remember being scared, thinking, "Oh no, is this the end for me?" And like I haven't even came out the belly or womb, and like, is this the end for me? And I got so mad that I flipped, which is yeah, I flipped. It's like, that's it, I'm gonna go back up into the stomach, but that's not how that works. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you can't do that. I just got mad and flipped. And the doctor outside, outside of the ex's stomach, right outside the stomach, was like, oh yeah, so the baby flipped, and so now we're gonna have to do a C-section to get her out of the stomach. And the ex my dad's ex said okay, so anyways, get her out the C, like she didn't want a C-section, the ex, right? She didn't want the C-section. It's like, well, if you don't get the C-section, your baby's going to like RIP, right? I was gonna RIP, right? Like at this point I was coming in and out of consciousness, because when I flipped, the umbilical cord was like bent in like a weird position, like where I could barely get oxygen and stuff. So I was going in and out of consciousness. So it's like this part sounded incredibly muffled as I was going in and out of consciousness, because I was low on air and my heartbeat actually slowed down like a lot. And I was very close to RIP. I was very close to ending my poor life that haven't even began. I was about to go to the great sun in the sky. Also, I'm an atheist, so I'm just gonna make up some stuff, okay? I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in any religion. Yay! So, anyways, what's it called? Yeah, I was weaving in and out of consciousness at this point, because I could barely breathe. My heart was slowing down, and the umbilical cord was wrapped in such a weird way, right? And like when the doctor said that I was gonna RIP because my heart would stop beating, and like the ex said, I don't care if she RIPs, like I don't care if she ends, she can end if all I care, right? I could hear this, right, but it sounded very muffled. Let me see if I can find a sound effect for this right quick. Crazy to say that, because like she carried me for 10 months, mind you, and also like she planned to have me, so it's not like she like, whoops, I'm pregnant. No, she planned to have me. So like, I don't know what she was saying that she was mad because she didn't want to have what's it called, a circumcision? No, that's not what it's called. I don't remember. I just said it not that long ago. She doesn't want to get her belly cut, have that surgery to take me out of her belly. I don't remember what it's called. Let me go look back right quick. So it's called a C-section. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, she was bad. She didn't want a C-section, right? But the doctor replied back and said, well, you're going to have to get the C-section either way. Even if I RIP, you're going to still have to get the C-section to get me out, because like you can't keep the baby in there, because you might RIP. So she was like, fine, let's let's do the C-section. Like, she was super mad. And so, like, you're the one who wanted the baby. Why are you so mad? Like, did you not research at all? Like, there's complications during pregnancy, before, during, after. Lots of people go, like, RIP during pregnancy. Some, like, after. Like, you should be happy that your baby's alive. Some people can't even have kids. Like, she was so ungrateful. Like, she was so ungrateful. Like, man, I don't even know what's wrong with her. She's just annoying, okay? But anyways, she ended up having the C-section, right? And I remember this part vividly because I was going in and out consciousness, and out of nowhere there was like blinding lights. Like, they were pulling me out of the womb. It was like blinding lights, like these, like, oh, they were bright, like, oh, like it went from dark to insanely bright, and I was blinded. Like, I was like, ah, and I started hearing my ears ringing too. It was like super bright, and I was placed on a table for some reason. I don't know why I was on the table, to be honest with you. And it was really bright, and I was like blinded. It took a while because there was I don't remember what's the stuff, the liquidy stuff that be in the womb with me, but it was some stuff on my eyes, and I was blinking a lot to like clear my eyes because it was blurry. There was this stuff in my eyes. I don't know what it's called. All I keep on thinking is membrane, but that just makes sense. And there was this stuff in my eyes. It was blurry, and I blinked a few times, and I was able to see it was super bright. Like, they had like these, like, you know, those surgical lights that they have that's super bright. Like, mine's had like it looks similar to stadium lights, like, but like smaller. That's what it looked like, but it was super bright. And there was like 4 of them in that room. It was super bright. Like, oh my gosh, it was bright. And it took me a while, and I was looking around the room, right? And I looked at the doctor. He looked Caucasian. I looked at the other doctor. He looked Asian because he was Chinese. I don't know if he was even American, to be honest. He was Chinese, and he had like a heavy Chinese accent. Like, that's the one I told you that kept on telling my mom stop. Oh, not my mom. She's not my mom. The ex to stop drinking soda. That's the one who was there for the prenatal care checkup. So he was also there, and then there was nurses there too. They look Caucasian to me, and they were all dressed in like blue, like light blue. Also, did I mention blue is one of my favorite colors? Yeah, I didn't. Okay, but they were all dressed in blue, right? And I remember looking around, and then I saw my dad, and he was just standing there, and he smiled. I was thinking, I was just looking around. I wasn't even thinking when I was looking around. I was like looking around and everything, and I was like quiet because, oh, like, also I did make a sound when I was born. Like, they like, when you're like a baby, a newborn baby, they get worried when you don't cry because it could mean that you have an issue with your like voice box, right? But when like I barely cried when they pulled me out of the stomach. I just made a sound because I was blinded by lights. All I said is ah. I didn't go ah, but it went like eh, because I was a newborn. And yeah, being blind, like, oh, it just reminded me of the time when I got hit with a flash grenade. It was not fun. It was freaking horrible. Like, how did I get hit by a flash grenade? One of my cousins had a flash grenade. Where did he get it from? I don't know. That cousin was crazy. He would be having like all sorts of stuff that he should not be having, like all the time. I don't know what happened to that cousin. Anyways, let me go back to what I was saying. I was looking around the room, and then I got cold because I was nude. Like when I think about back when I was younger, how much I was nude. I don't know how to feel about it. Sure, I was born nude, but like I don't know how to feel about it. Like I don't feel ashamed, but like I don't feel comfortable at all though. When I think about it, I just feel, I don't know about this. It's just on edge. Like like oh my gosh. Like whenever I remember stuff, I can remember it like if it was happening now, like all over again. Like it's not, oh, like I can feel all the things I can feel then. It's I can remember all the things that I thought then. It's like very detailed, okay? Very detailed. It's like I'm reliving the moment again whenever I remember things. Like it's crazy, but when it's a bad memory, it's horrible. It's freaking horrible. I can remember all the sounds. I can remember how I feel. I can remember everything. Just everything all over again. It's like experiencing it again for the first time. But I'm not. It's so cool, but like horrible at the same time. It's like. But anyways, I was completely nude, and then I got cold. Cause like it took a while for my body to adjust being outside the stomach first of all, and I was cold and got cold, right? And then I started to cry cause first of all, because yeah, the table they had me on was cold too. It was like ice cold, and I started crying because I felt like uncomfortable because I'm completely nude, and they're staring at me like, who would have felt uncomfortable? Like I started crying, and then they went over there, and I was crying. While I was crying, my dad picked me up. I was nude, by the way. Like picked me up, and he was looking at me, and he was talking to me, right? And he was warm. He had me in his hands while I'm completely nude. I have a picture of this, by the way. It's in my baby book. But like, oh man. I just remember like a whole lot of bad memories right now. But anyways, he had me in his hands, and I looked at the picture, and I remember, and I'm like, man, I think I was way smaller than I actually was. Like they measured me out and all, but I don't think I was really that long. Like I look way smaller than the amount they said that was. Like I wish I could find those documents when I was born because the hospital I was born in got closed down 4 years later because they were doing illegal stuff. So yeah, what stuff they were doing I'll tell you later, but they were doing illegal stuff. So anyways, he was holding me in his hands and talking to me, and like he said hi Kai and something else. I was falling asleep because he was warm. His hands was warm. I was like, oh, this feels good. This feels good. And I was going to sleep. Going to sleep. And he was wearing all like blue, right? He was wearing all blue because I don't know why he was wearing all blue, to be honest with you. Like he was wearing the surgical gear stuff, even though he didn't have the surgical gown stuff. I don't know why. He was wearing all the blue and for some reason. He was holding me in his hands, right? And I was falling asleep because he was so warm. I was like, yep. And he was like, hi Kai, and blah 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 blah. And then I remember closing my eyes to fall asleep. And I don't know, at one point that he give the doctor or the nurses to me, like gave the nurses to the doctors, me to the doctors. Man, I freaking hate English, okay? Anyways, but I woke up and they were they started to like clean me, right? And they used cold water, and I was not have to. It was terrible. Like it was cold water, like ice cold water. They had me under this little bunk set. And they were scrubbing me with cold water. It was so cold. I was crying, and then some of the water got into my throat, and I was like half drip, half like suffocating in the water. But I was able to get the water out. It was like they were like moving fast. They put me in the water, the cold water, and said it was all this water, and I was freaking out. I was going to shock because I was just warm, and now I'm freezing cold again. Why? It was cold, and then the nurses had me, and they put me in the incubator chamber, and they had put all this stuff on me. I don't know what the stuff was. They were like, they're supposed to monitor me or something to check whatever, but I was mad. I was crying, and I was like mad because I was still naked at this point. And then finally they put on a diaper and clothes that I could barely fit. By the way, I could barely fit the clothes. It was like super fast, and like I was like tired and mad. And I was clothed, but I was still cold though. Like I was still cold because I was hit with cold water. Also, this is one main reason why I hate cold water. I absolutely hate cold water. Like I hated going to the pool, even during the summertime. I really hated going to the pool because the pool was always ice cold. I touched it and I just, ooh, it was terrible. It's freaking terrible. Oh, I hate cold water. Like every single time when someone splashed me with cold water, I just be like, I just want to punch you. Why you do that? Like, why did you do that? Like, oh, every single time I think of cold water, I get these chills all over my body. It's not that great. I'd be getting irritated by it, by the thought. Like I could drink cold water just fine, mostly, but as soon as you get on my skin, I'd be like, not having it. But I was like, okay, so like the type of clothes that I had was newborn clothes, right? The thing is, when I was born, I was 6 ounces, like I was 5.59. I was almost 6 ounces. I was like 5 ounces, 0.59. Like ounces, like I don't know what they were talking about. Like my parents kept on saying I was almost 6 ounces, but 5.59 is not almost 6 ounces. I was almost 5.6 ounces. What are you talking about? I don't understand. I was like 11 inches long. So a ruler, like most of those inches were my legs, okay? Because like 6 of those inches were my legs, and the 5 other inches was the rest of my body. So yeah, I was super small. I was 5.59 ounces, and I was like I was super small. I was the same size as premature babies at the time, period. Now premature babies could be either, they could be super small or super big, but like I was the same size as premature baby at that time, period. And the doctors were actually confused because I'm an overturned baby, meaning I should be way more than the normal like baby. Like a 9-month baby was like pounds, not ounces. And I was even a pound. I was ounces. I was way smaller than I was supposed to be. Like I was supposed to be at least like 5 to 6 pounds, and that was like the normal weight for the newborns during that time, and if I was since I was overturned baby, I should weigh more than that. But I weigh way less than the normal newborn and the overturned newborn. I was the same size, the same weight, the same everything as premature baby, which was confusing. So they were like doing checkups on me to see what's wrong with me, cause they're confused. Like, since the X was the right weight, I should be like bigger than this, but I wasn't. So they were confused. So it's confused why I was so small. So they were doing like lots of checks on me, like, because I was way smaller than I was supposed to be. So since it's the end of the video, like and subscribe, share, comment, join my Discord server. My goal is to reach 5,000 subscribers. And yeah, I'll be seeing you real soon. Also, I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story in part 4, because this video is long enough. Sure, there's gonna be child mistreatment. Like, there's already been child mistreatment, but anyways, I'll see you next time.